like that people love seeing in fighting games and FPS and even in real-time strategy.
That was like poke, 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 and then finally you're going in for your ultra combo or super combo.
Where you just press every button and go.
No, don't do that. Don't.
I literally
don't
press
mash,
fierce punch, fierce kick, medium punch, light kick, everything at the same time, and just throw the joystick in every direction, Andre, and I just button mash.
Stop it.
Mash to thrash, baby.
Stop it. You need to do the Doom
It's like in
Infinity from
foosball, you
MVC2.
spin to win, baby.
Actually, practice. I remember I used to play this. Not going to talk about this. StarCraft, guys, because I am excited for this match. It's Alicia versus Hero, game number 2. I'll talk about my MVC2 days another time. We have Liquid Hero on the bottom right-hand corner of Ohana as the blue Protoss. He is currently down 0-1 to the runner-up of the NASL Season 3. It is Alicia as the red Protoss.
Alicia, also known as the new King of Silver, placing 2nd at MLG twice, 2nd at NASL. Not able to call himself champion of anything just yet, unless you want to say champion of 2nd. At least
He
in
would
the
be
past few months.
the champion of 2nd. Be
Would
absolutely
be.
right.
Although some other people are really in contention. Like First is also like something like that too.
Mana was like that forever.
It's true.
Ever.
Even dating back to like the first dream hack of StarCraft 2. But we'll see how he fares off against Hero. Now Hero did choose this map, and they did play these games on the Korean server. And an easy way to tell is when you hover over Alicia's name, it says Alicia. His NA account usually says short stuff. For fun fact. Alicia's going for double Zealot.
Yeah, this is a style that you can do 3-gate pressure directly off of this. It's a really clean-cut build, especially on Ohana. I feel like it's really powerful just because you don't have to commit that early probe to scouting. A lot of times you're in the dark, you don't know what your opponent is doing, and this is really safe. It's safe against a lot of the proxy builds, which a lot of players actually love to build around here or around here, similarly around here or here. It's good against that because you get your Zealots out really, really fast. You put on a lot of pressure. 2 Zealots and a single Stalker by the time your opponent has barely maybe 2 units out. There should be a Zealot here, but it's Zealot Stalker normally. So you can normally get into the base 100% and find out what your opponent is doing. And that's something that's so powerful. Now off of this, normally it is a 3-gate, but you know, because that's in the metagame, because people know that it's normally 3-gate, they could anticipate the pressure and then it just doesn't come. And what happens is that player becomes a lot more defensive, and because of that, you can actually squeeze out tech, which is what we're seeing right now. He's able to get this Twilight Council because he's putting pressure on his opponent. If this pressure didn't exist, he has no map control. His opponent would probably be able to really take advantage of the position. But you can see 2 Stalkers out in the field, a 3rd one about to pop out. And watch, Alicia will be able to get a good scout in no matter what. Ooh, has to be careful.
It's still a little bit risky because 3 Stalkers obviously are better than 1, and they can kind of outmaneuver your opponent.
Yeah.
Alicia doing this very much with on a tight rope. And in the end, Hero saves everything. And this is kind of where Hero excels the most, man. Trying to use a small amount of units to optimize his micro both ways. Hero's also just still on 2 gates, while Alicia is also researching Blink, so he's going to follow us up with more aggression. Well, just like you said, Andre. And now where does Hero really go from here? He's going to just drop a robotics and play more defensive, because that kind of aggression that you read, it's really hard to say what he opened up. Don't you think?
Yes.
It's like when you see 2 Zealots and a Stalker, it's like, well, you're saving your gas and you're doing something, but what are you doing?
Yeah, and you can see how many Stalkers are being made. In normal circumstances, you're actually going to put the robotics facility before maybe these 2 Stalkers. There should only be 3 Stalkers, and then the Robo, and then additional Stalkers. But because Alicia put on so much pressure, it actually forces Hero to defend against potential 3-gate, 4-gate play. And that whole time, he's getting that Blink out. Now, the Blink won't be nearly as effective, but for this type of overcommitting, if Hero keeps his Stalkers here, all 5 of those Stalkers are dead. And it just has to be literally like 15 seconds that he keeps these here, and Hero loses the game.
Right.
And that's really, really a shame.
Because of, the Blink could let him chase down the units. And
yeah.
when you lose 5 Stalkers, man, like that's just way too much in PvP. I guess one thing that's really nice, though, for Hero is that he was able to, you know, poke up and see that Alicia's not going for any kind of like a early sentry play or not. He only saw a pure stalker. So that gives him some pretty good information on his opponent, and he is also getting his own sentry count while squeezing out his first immortal. So the hero's actually very safe at the moment. Ohana is a map that's actually kind of tricky to blink in. That's why it's actually very interesting that Alicia went for a quick blink, because you can't really go in from into the main. It's a very difficult map to blink into, so I'm very curious to see where Alicia goes from
That's
there.
right. I mean, this is a very awkward place to blink. You can see the distance between them. Here it's okay, but you're right next to that ramp, so it's like, oh, if I hug my units right here, I defend the natural, and I defend my main. And I love this probe positioning, by the way, Frodan. I mean, this is exactly the type of stuff that separates the very top players.
Yeah.
And Alicia, he's going to go ahead and take his own Nexus. Looks like he's not going to be aggressive until that observer works all the way over there. So this is going to be half-hearted pressure. He's just trying to force a response. And let's see if it's been done. No. Oh my gosh. Look at the Harvester disparity right now. That is insane,
Yeah.
Frodan.
36 to 20. This come on, man. This is the exact same position as it was last game with worker disparity. The observers just narrowly missing each other. At least trying to backtrack, and he's going to see that observer and blink onto it. Boom.
Bye.
Now Hero knows his opponent has a robo. So
Yep.
where does Hero go from here? Just like you said, that probe is a nice spot, because that's a common place for Protoss players to place a pylon and warp into the high ground. Although Alicia still is...
Oh! That's
lost his
actually a
observer.
big loss right there.
Wow.
Losing that observer. That's gigantic, because now he can't do any pressure. Alicia's just so far behind. So I'm actually really surprised. I thought Alicia would be able to be a lot more aggressive with this attack. Maybe a 4-gate if you want to alter it a little bit so that you can charge up the top. But still, I mean, Hero's been really, really comprehensive with this defense.
Well, a good blink back from Hero as he picked off one unit from Alicia and moves away. He's going to try to also trap some more stalkers, but
Nice.
Alicia, of course, just ejects before he's able to lose anything. Meanwhile, Hero's already transitioning into Colossus. And Blink Stalkers, as great as they are, don't really fare well against Colossus unless you have overwhelming numbers of it and you go for something crazy like a mass gateway Blink Stalker and hit before they have two.
Yeah, and you can only have overwhelming numbers if you have an economic advantage on your opponent.
Yeah, that's right. Usually, and some people used to do that. Like they would base trade. They would like put a Nexus in another corner of the map on like Tal'Darim or something if it survived 4-gate versus 4-gate.
Oh, but a little fancy Blink Stalker micro again going on in the middle of the map. Alicia trying to do as much as possible just to get back into the game. No, I shouldn't say get back into the game, but kind of salvage his position. But you can see Hero is ready. Now this one Colossus, it doesn't look too scary, but what it's meant to do is really, I guess, assert his advantage. He knows he has an economic advantage. It materialized into a ton of units, and now all of a sudden you don't have a positional advantage with those sentries. Normally Force Field is able to actually, you know, keep you defensively safe, but because I have a Colossus, I can easily just step on top of them. You can't do anything about it. And just the main purpose of the Colossus is to crush Force Fields because he has an advantage.
Hero now pushing forward slightly. He doesn't have thermal engine just yet, but that's going to pose to be such a huge threat. Not necessarily just even to poke, like to do damage, but to also poke things like the Immortal, because before the Immortal range is the same as the Colossus, so that would really favor the Immortal without Thermal Lance, but now it's the opposite way. Alicia does have +1, but I don't think it's going to come into play this much considering his supply is not that big, and he doesn't even have Thermal Lance on his Colossus. Hero going to force his way up the choke, which is a little bit tough to do because the Colossus can control so much of the ramp. Another pair of force fields. Alicia really buying a lot of time, and that might be a saving grace.
Income tab showing 56 to 44, so this whole time does go to Hero. It affects him a lot more in that he gets more money, which means more units, and this contain actually worked out quite substantially. So job well done. You can see in the disparity of supply, 137 to 110, and from here I think both these players will just back up. Hero will probably be the first one to draw that third command center, the third Nexus out. I'm sure we'll see that in a little bit, but for now we do see a couple of Stalkers moving to the right-hand side, trying to do a little bit more damage. We still don't have Blink out for Hero, and that is something that he definitely needs, as Oh, wow. He doesn't. Okay, never mind. He has +1 on the way. +2 is being researched for Alicia. I thought Hero didn't have +1 making.
No, Hero's starting forge. The plus weapons matters so much, especially with Colossus, because of how much AoE it spreads. Now Hero's moving out to take a third base. There's nothing really Alicia can do. How can you attack into an army like this? Hero dictates so much of the next battle. Although I like that Alicia was sneaking in an expansion before his opponent, realizing, well, Hero thinks he's so far ahead. Maybe I can, skimp out some units, keep making Colossus. But you can see Alicia, I mean, he's doing the right things to sneak his way back to the game. And eventually it's going to get to the point where Hero can't really do anything to Alicia either unless he wants to set up a huge play.
Yeah, that's the troubles with PvP. Sometimes it's very hard to close things out just because of, obviously, the defensive postures. I mean, it's very easy to actually take that better concave or the nicer position and use force fields and Colossus optimally. But I feel like it might be a position where Hero's just too far ahead. You can see the disparity in supplies growing from before. It was 110 to 130, 140. Now it's 126 to 172. It's a lot more. What is that? 46 more than your opponent? Well, 44 now. No, whatever. I'm not going to do math like that. That's crazy. Real-time math is too hard. But that being said, I mean, Hero is probably just going to max out with his double robo. He knows he has the advantage in getting this second robo a little bit faster. And with that, with the Immortal Army, with the very high Colossus count, he should be able to hit at a very brutal time where he hits +2, it neutralizes the upgrade advantage, and then from there he just has a composition advantage over his opponent. But I can't stress this enough. We saw MC down probably 20 or 30 supply to Bishu in the same kind of exact position, and somehow or another, MC was able to micro his way back into the battle and win it completely. So don't count Alicia out just because he has less supply.
I fully agree, and I think no one will argue that defender's position advantage is so huge, not just for positioning. The warp-ins is so important as well, to absorb damage, to flank, and all kinds of stuff as well. Alicia also has that +3 a little bit farther ahead, and you never know, that might come to play. He also is going for double robotics, pumping out 2 Colossus at a time, while Hero's starting to incorporate some Archons. Now, Archons are great to absorb damage because they take up a lot of space. And so as a result, it minimizes the AoE damage that's actually done. Yeah. Also, that they can crush force fields as well. So they're a great way to lead into a battle if you incorporate them.
Yeah, and you just want to think about the levels in which your opponent's Colossus has to attack into. If there's a level of Zealots and then Stalkers and Immortals and then Colossus, that's 2 levels before you get to the Colossus. But if it's Stalker or Zealots and then Archons and then Stalkers, Immortal, and then Colossus, that's an extra level that those Colossus have to mow down before they can even get to that Colossus army. And once you actually breach your opponent's Colossus army, that's when the battle really starts to shape up and someone gets a decisive advantage. We're going to see who actually draws first blood in that Colossus count in a little bit.
Look at this. Hero's also trying to attack, counterattack with a couple of Zealots, not just in the third, but in the main. Oh, he's targeting on the Forge!
Oh, he's chrono boosting it out! He's going to get it, Frodan!
Oh, he's going to get it. And now Hero's going to make his move, saying, oh, he is starting +3, or he's trying to finish +3. I can catch some of his units as well, Alicia. Whenever I play PvP, I'm going to surround all of my forges with pylons, man. I don't care.
You got to.
Just got to, man, because I don't want my upgrade to finish like that. That's 220 seconds that's wasted, at least, because you have to remake the forge, too.
That's right.
Crazy.
So both these players have very equal count of Colossus 7 and 7 apiece. Actually, the Archon count goes to Alicia, surprisingly, even though he's had his third base for a lot less time. But also, look at the Immortals. I like this. The reintroduction of Immortals. This is so underused in PvP. Sometimes it's not good to go too many Colossus, and you need to reintroduce those Immortals because they are the power-hitting units. You know, once the Zealots get cleaned up, which is pretty fast, you're left with Archons, Stalkers, Immortals, and then Colossus, all of which, except the Archons, are armored. And an extra 50 or 60 damage for each shot from those Immortals are going to be a lot better invested rather than 2 Stalkers or something like that, because 2 Stalkers equal Immortal in both supply and cost.
I agree. And Alicia just has so many zealots, though. Wow.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. 21 to just 5. If he can get a good flank, he may be able to force Colossus out of position. Hero has all of his Colossus kind of clumped.
Now here's the thing with Alicia's composition, it could die very easily if he engages wrong. If he doesn't engage in like a line format with these zealots and have it so that all of his zealots don't die at once, then he's good. Like he needs to attack in a line. That's why he's going at an arc like this, and then he's going to enter over here. But he wasted his charge, Frodan. That might be a little bit of a problem.
I don't know. Alicia's pulling back. A lot of the Colossus and Archons are clumping up. Alicia may have baited Hero straight into where he wanted to so he can get some good AoE. And Hero has all of his Colossus clumped. He's trying to cut as best as he can, but the Archons... Oh, man, a scary moment as Alicia almost baited Hero exactly where he wanted to. But at the same time, Alicia lost almost all of his zealots, so a huge amount of his supply has disappeared. But he's going for a zealot run by.
Yep.
Wow.
Same thing that we saw just a couple minutes ago. Alicia now doing the work. And he's going to be able to pick up nothing. Nice pylon block. Stopping those zealots from getting in, but still, it looks like the gas probes will go down. How does he actually react from here? I'm not sure. Fourth base going up for Alicia. Man, these two players are just playing their hearts out, Frodan. This is amazing, man.
Very, very meticulous decisions from both players just to like respond, just like dropping that pylon wall, just like being able to drop the pylon and advance from Alicia to warp in after baiting his opponent to his fourth base. Those kinds of small tactics is what gives you a large advantage. Again, over time, Alicia now has his +3 finally about to finish up. So after all this, Hero had a pretty large advantage, but he is starting to get armor upgrades to really cancel that out after shields burn through. I have to say that Alicia's been able to make a lot of stuff happen with a little bit, because he's the one making it seem like he's the aggressor at the moment, when Hero's the one who's been having an advantage the entire time.
I do want to mention something very quickly. Upgrades. It looks like Alicia just now finished +3 attack, whereas +2 armor is being worked on, so you can see Hero is on top of his game when it comes to the upgrade count. But again, another potential confrontation, but no. So Hero is waiting for this, Mothership. As soon as the Mothership comes out, it's a whole different game. Because now all of a sudden, observers are forced by your opponent, and they have to play a lot more defensive. If you can get to a Mothership first, most likely you have the overwhelming advantage, because Vortex is just so important. But that's not really the big thing or the big issue. It's the cloaking. The cloaking is probably a lot more important. It's just another thing that you have to worry about.
Well, Hero is set up between his third and his fourth base, while Alicia takes the tower. Vision is so important right now at this stage of the game. Hero has no idea. He really has no idea, and the Mothership's not out. This is a spot where I don't think Alicia really can poke in here. He's choking himself up. But is he going to reset up so that his Colossus gets strong AoE? 1 Century wants to be a hero, but does he really want to do this? Hero's also trying to use his Colossus to poke, but the Archons are pushing forward, taking massive amounts of AoE. The Immortals are pushing forward, doing massive amounts of damage. The Archons from Hero finally get into the fray. The Zealots are warping in. All the Colossus from Hero are pushing in, but Hero has his own defensive warp-ins. Oh, this cannon also providing a really nice anchor point in case the Observer comes in. He can snipe it. Hero has double Observers on his opponent, and Alicia is caught out of position. Hero is pushing forward. The Zealots that with charge are doing a great job whittling down the fragile Colossus HP, and Hero holds, but what is the actual damage report? 6 Colossus apiece, and the Mothership is out for Hero.
Not good for Alicia. Now, as I was saying, I mean, Vortex can be good if you can get it down, but most of the time you're going to be feedback before that actually happens. But look at this. 6 Archons on the way out right now. That is really scary, because this is where I feel like Hero is going to have the big advantage. He's been banking a lot longer than his opponent, so his remax should theoretically be a lot stronger. Again, you have to be careful though, because anything can happen with defensive positions. We're going to see in a little bit how this works out. The Mothership has been hidden this whole time. So it looks like Alicia doesn't have... Oh, he actually warps in 1 High Templar right now just to prepare for that. But still, he needs observers out in the field, and he doesn't have that just yet. But here we go.
The Colossus... Oh, the Colossus, a huge flank from the right side. Oh, Alicia has a very nice positioning from all different angles.
Oh my god, Alicia.
And Hero, he does have enough for a Vortex, but he can't even really capitalize onto it. The army that started off looking so intimidating ends up looking so anemic. Hero has to back off.
Yeah, I mean, positioning, and you really don't want to attack into a place like this. I feel like this is a death trap. Actually, go out here where Alicia went to go attack. Pull your opponent out of position and then make plays. Either go over here, try to, use these small amount of units to displace some amount of units, and then obviously you can take advantage somehow or another. But Hero just charging up into this attack, you're just asking for this huge concave like that to barrel down on all of your units. And you can see from the resources lost tab, Alicia's been playing a lot smarter. We've seen Hero has been up for quite a long time, but Alicia's the one that hasn't been losing nearly as much stuff.
I am. Both players have been actually having lots of skirmishes around the map. And one thing that's kind of been cool is that Hero's been dropping pylons, so has Alicia. They've been both trying to fight different positions and warp in zealots. And Hero's doing the same thing again. He's trying to weaken the robo, snipe different things, but he's also microing a lot, so there's still lots of action. Neither player are really turtling. They're trying to fight for position. Alicia's also getting a warp prism with gravitic drive, so he can have speed prisms all over the map warp in, and that's going to be super key.
That's really smart. And you can see just those zealots running by puts Alicia so far out of position. There was a timing where he could have hit 5 or 10 seconds on this Nexus and it would have gone down. If he was a little bit more proactive with his units, got him up there. Of course, the risk you run is losing all those units because they're so far near your opponent and you're committing a lot of units to kill like a robotics facility. But if you can displace the units like that, you have a big window to actually get good position. And remember, position is the #1 thing in PvP. Really nicely played, though, by Alicia to actually go back, save that robotics facility, and then dart right back to his 4th base so it's alive.
And, man, this is just such a really tough situation because for Alicia, because he still has to avoid the vortex, but he does also have High Templars out. And you can actually do some really cool things with it, like feeding back the mothership and making it kind of useless, and then being able to shut down other stuff as well. And that's why I like that Alicia's keeping the High Templars in the Warp Prism, because then what if he can drop into a nice spot and feedback from behind, and really force Hero out of position that way.
And here we go. It looks like Alicia's moving out. I don't see a lot of observers out in the field though, Frodan. That might spell a little bit of trouble for Alicia.
There's 2 observers for Alicia.
Where are they?
There's 1 in the army.
Okay, I see them. Two in the army. You're right.
2 in the army. Oh, the Warp Prism wants to get close. Has to be very cautious not to get vortexed.
You can see how scared he is,
what if you
man.
feed back the the High Templars that tries to feed back?
You can see that 1 High Templar over here.
Hero trying to make sure to get in position. Alicia's going for it. He wants to feed back. He
Vortex!
gets it off, but the Vortex gets off anyways. It doesn't even matter. The second Vortex was no longer there, and Alicia loses half of his army. Hero gets it off. Now the Vortex will expire very soon. And Alicia trying to go loop-de-loop, but these units are all clumped up. So much of the army supply is right here in this one small area. Alicia loses so much. Hero is now engaging full on, but Alicia's army supply is crumbling because Hero still even keeps his mothership despite playing merry-go-round. And now Alicia will have to fall back to his 4th base, but he really can't hold this.
That Vortex was money, Frodan. Obviously, just stopping a lot of units from attacking. He was able to isolate the other side and just take the advantage from there. Hero playing phenomenal. That Vortex was awesome. And punishing Alicia for not getting his own mothership. GG gets called out. We have a 1-1 series, ladies and gentlemen. Hero and Alicia are tied.
Very, very well done. I saw the feedback go off. And then I scrolled up on my map and I saw the Vortex got off too, man. It was a very exciting moment for me because I didn't think he got it off at one point. And if he didn't get it off, whole different game, because then it becomes a laser show. It's like, and then the mothership has to like cloak some units, snipe their observer if you see their observer. This kind of like other dynamic of PvP. But all because he was able to get a good position. Very well done by Hero. And it sends it to game number 3. Guys, that game was brought to you by iBuyPower. Go ahead and check out their pre-assembled PCs at iBuyPower.com. The last game of the day is coming up after this, guys. It's come down to this game number 3 between Hero and Alicia. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion to the series when we return.